All right, listen, you're going to throw some sarcasm my way on this one? I mean, let's just get right to it, you goddamn ass. I mean, Jesus, how do you get? I mean, you're such an ass. Mackenzie Blackwood's no good. All of a sudden, halfway
I
through the
know.
game, I see something on Twitter.
Smoked.
Like, what?
Like destroyed.
Like, who smoked you? Okay, listen. Okay, so
The New Jersey Devils are going after me. It was unbelievable. Like, how can someone not see that? I get the.
how quickly did they go after you? How quickly
Oh,
did
I
they
mean,
turn
they
on you?
turned pretty quick, like within 15, 20 minutes, because I put my phone down to put the kids to bed, and then I was like, and I guess I was thinking more to like going out to Bruins fans. Like, obviously, the guys made 500 saves in the last 3 games against this team. It was an easy, funny thing, and I won't do that again.
Actually, you should do it again. From what little I saw,
guess, but-
so basically, for the fans out there, and welcome into Morning Brew with Jaffe and Razor, Bruins win in a shootout 5-4 over the New Jersey Devils in a game that they probably didn't deserve to
No,
win
compared to
when it was
all
said
the
and
other
done.
Devils games. This
Right?
is the one.
But
Yeah,
let's take
Yeah.
care of this. We'll take care of this blasphemy that you sent out there. So, at what point did you send out that Mackenzie?
Oh, it was right
Blackwood
after the first
isn't
goal.
that good.
which was a horrible
Okay.
goal, which was ironic because he's going to give up one at some point. And yes,
Okay, the Richie goal,
the Richie
from
goal
the right
from
side.
the right side. After that went in, I said this this Blackwood goalie, like obvious, like I'd never heard of him before. This Blackwood goalie for New Jersey Devils isn't very good. And
Okay, so and then they came back at you 15, 20 minutes later. Did fans start giving you a hard time right away, or did they more or less get it?
no, it was fans, and then somehow the Devils account got it, and then that exponentially got crazy for a little while until I finally had to point out that it was sarcasm, and I didn't need everyone telling me how much I sucked. and that
Did
and
the
that
Devils,
Blackwood.
did the Devils ever?
No. It went away.
Okay.
Yeah, like you could tell. I'm sure that they're not really supposed to be in the business of making attacks like that. So it just kind of went away. I'm assuming they're ignoring it now. Yeah,
Okay.
they don't have that many followers.
The Devil-
compared to.
Well, what was the best hate one that you got? Twitter hate from a Devils fan. You can paraphrase.
Well, no,
but
there's
was there one that was
it's
better?
as easy as well, the one I put up on mine was he was garbage as a goalie in the NHL, so I'm not surprised his analysis is garbage too. There was
That's
no,
not that
yeah,
bad.
no, it wasn't like you're the. It's just like it goes to Mackenzie Blackwood's had a more of a career than you already. All of those things, but he's only played 40 games, so he's got a long way to go actually. But there's no point of
Right,
fighting that.
Right.
So yes,
Right.
I don't
So,
like
okay.
the attention. It wasn't the intent.
Well, right. I understand, but welcome to the world. You entered the
know,
dark side of
I
broadcasting 2 seasons
know.
ago. You're not a rookie anymore, but you're still feeling your way around. You're going to get your ass
Yep,
kicked a few
that's
times.
right.
And then you get
Yeah,
numb to it, and then
I
you just
know.
kind of,
That's right.
let's move on. Okay. All right. So let's get into this one. Let's break it down like we do here on Morning Brew. The Bruins coming off a 1-0 loss to the Devils, where in the third period they stepped up and played a good third period. Too little, too late. I'm not going to say that 100% of the first period was crap in this game, but I'll say that 70%, I think, was. They started out with some jump for a few minutes, but all of a sudden, as soon as the Devils scored that first goal after Bruins, oh, here we go again. Holy smokes, right? I'm trying to remember the time Miles Wood scored.
What was it?
It was 128 after 2 shifts of the Bruins, maybe even not 3, 2 shifts of go, and then Miles Wood, Bruins killer, Miles Wood comes and scores, and then the Bruins couldn't get out of their own way. I mean, how did rhetorically asking, how the hell does this team not come out more ready for the Devils? I mean, after not just 2 or 3 shifts ready. I'm talking real ready.
Well, and the coaching staff's was asking that question still after the game, right? You hear Bruce's comments and talking about the young guys, and
Yep.
and this is completely on the younger group, on the second tier of leadership, the third tier of leadership on this group, and for them not to see the bell or not to answer the bell after what's been going on the last few weeks is I'm sure concerning for everybody involved. For to have, and I'm sure we're going to talk, but to fast forward to Brad Marchand finally having to do something. I'm sure he didn't really want to do that, but it took about 36 minutes for him to realize, like, no one else is going to do this, then it's on me. And I think that happened right in the first period where those guys were waiting for someone to.
Well, it started with It starts with a Lausanne bad pass, and like you're waiting to make a good play. He just makes a bad play, turns into the Miles Wood goal. Yeah, the Bruins tied up on the Richie goal that leads to you being a sarcastic ass and getting yourself in trouble, and then we move on. But then it's just, then just break them. I mean, how many breakaways did Miles Wood have? 4 in this game?
It felt like 8. It felt like every time he was on the ice, he had a glorious chance and 2-on-1s and busting the middle. The second goal, the Devils scored in the first period. They went 200 feet in 2.5 seconds. And I get it. It was a bad bounce off Marchand to go to the wall, or was it Kuhlman to go to the wall? But, I mean, that still shouldn't be so easy for that to happen. And
they the Devils beat the Bruins in the first 2 periods for the most part with one quick pass out of their own zone, and all of a sudden it was like they beat 2 Bruins, and the next thing it was an odd man rush after speed through the neutral zone. Holy smokes! Like constantly, was it pre-scout? Was it just instinct? Whatever it was, a mixture of it. One pass regularly beat 2 or 3 Bruins, and it led to these odd man rushes, and D were gapped out and everything. And I mean, reality is,
the reality is that they should have been. That was the worst game they've played in 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
Yeah.
It's hockey's such a wild game, but you feel good at 3-2. All right, they got one. All right, maybe they're turning the corner, and then pizza. What a pizza that one is! Like, that is as egregious as it gets on that fourth goal. I mean,
so there's a thing called pre-scouting, right? Okay, we know, and I think most fans listening or watching this show understand what that is. But in case there's a few that don't, every team, as you know, pre-scouts, they record, they go over plays. The Bruins like to use that short pass off the end zone face-off as option 1 or 2, oftentimes because guys usually converge on the puck off the draw, and it leaves one guy to sift open. In that case, it would have been the right side guy, and the D-man makes a short pass to them, and they exit the zone or try to exit. You know what I mean? The problem is that Lausanne didn't even pick up his head. He's just like, yeah, it's auto. Look, I'm a fan of Jeremy Lausanne. I'm not picking on the kid. He doesn't. Actually, I don't need to apologize because he knows exactly what he did there.
And he got away with it with the win.
But he eventually, right? But he had his head down. Holy
and no Chris. It was just a little baby, a muffin through the middle there. It wasn't supposed to be crisp in any way whatsoever.
So that's his second game back after the injury.
Yep.
Right. First game, not bad. Felt pretty good. Am I right about that?
Yeah.
That was the third game.
No, for sure. Absolutely.
Okay.
Killed penalties.
But you see that first up here, and then that second, third game, you come down and reality sets.
Yeah.
I'm hoping, capital H, hoping razor, that was just the holy smokes type of, I just can't get myself going. Because between the bad pass to Bergeron and that, it wasn't. The kid did respond, killed penalties well at the end. I like that part. At least I'm trying to find the positive. Yeah. Wasn't easy for me tonight to find the positive.
We're finding positives. And we talked about it after the game where it's still going to, he was out 4 weeks. It's going to take him 10 days to get back. And you hope this actually snaps him out of it a little sooner, right? If, again, looking at the positives, they get away with it, but he's going to have to bust his ass tonight on video and bust his ass tomorrow and probably going to be extra focused for the next game Thursday.
So are the Bruins fast enough? I feel like I hate to even have to ask that question because they seem to not be able to handle the speed of the New Jersey Devils. I mean, is that a problem? I thought we were past that. I don't know if we are past that anymore.
I don't.
But they don't seem to be able to handle it. The forecheck, the speed, the acceleration of the Devils.
I know, and yeah, maybe they're not. Again, maybe they've built themselves for a Washington or a Pitt
Pitt,
quite type series, and it should benefit them again at the end of the year. It's just hopefully fortunate.
but not the Islanders.
No, the
Not the
Islanders
Islanders.
are Islanders, New Jersey. You look at how they forecheck. Are they similar, and what are they doing that's similar? And you
Yep.
start looking for trends, and hopefully, the Bruins, the staff, the organization's looking at that, both of those trends, and saying, all right, how do we counteract? What are we doing wrong here, and how can we get better without taking away from what we do against the other teams?
So here's the trend. Ready? For both those teams that you mentioned, Isles and Devs. Straight line. Speed. Don't screw around with the puck. Push it into an area, side of the net, behind the net. Change the point of attack, side to side. In fact, the Devils really did a beautiful job on the forecheck, both at even strength and at 5-on-5 and on the power play, of changing the point of attack, meaning using the rim around from one side to the other, completely getting the Bruins running around in their own zone, having to decipher who to pick up. The Devils, the Islanders, similar. You know what? The other teams, the Washington Capitals, they like to play a power game, but it's not dump and chase. It's carry the puck if they can, et cetera. And the Pittsburgh Penguins, they want pucks on sticks too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's different.
I will
It's
say
different.
with
Bruins seem to
New
have a hard
Jersey, I think, I mean, they played horrible tonight. They found a way to win. The last two games, they had 80 shots against this team and didn't score any goals. So I think it balanced out a little bit the fact they got 4 goals tonight on not so great chances compared to what they did. They deserve better, is my point, the last 2 games. Compared to what they've gotten against the Islanders, I would say. The Islanders have stifled them defensively. It wasn't like they've had 2 Woods steal games for the Islanders. They've just been better for the most part. I think this New Jersey thing is a little bit different in the respect that they've gotten opportunities. They just haven't been able to score for whatever reason.
48 shots total in the game. Bruins had 19 in the third, 9 for the Devils. Previous game, the Bruins, it was something even 17 something. I don't. They've dominated the third periods in the last 2 games.
And the one before that too,
They're
with Wedgwood, because they were behind on that one too. They had 17 in that one.
That's
too.
right. I don't like that.
No,
I
that's
don't
not their.
like
That's
it.
not.
You do it once, fine. It's too often now, Razor, that they're doing it, that they're waiting. That is not a good sign to me at all, that they're having to wait for the scary moment, so to speak, to put the push.
Yeah, I'm looking. I think again, I'm looking forward to the Pittsburgh where we get back to the Dan Vladar game where they go up 2-1 and they give up 15 shots in the third period and hang on for a 3-1 win. That's typical Bruins, keeping things to the outside because, as you know, Billy, like these shots that come when you're down or when you're leading, I guess the shots against when you're leading are from outside. They're just putting pucks to the net. They're trying to get it there. They're trying to hope. It's all hope, hope, hope. And they got away with it again. They got away with it tonight, but it's more of a scenario last game where they're throwing 20 shots on net, but the majority of it's just maybe one of these will go in.
So, how many young guys were you disappointed with watching the game that didn't do something and then finally, as you mentioned, Marchand did. And Marchand created it with his forecheck, the cross check, etc. He did it with the big hit on the forecheck, and then Jesper Bratt turned to him, give him a cross check, and then he just gave him no choice but to fight him. And he found somebody literally his own size, which is fun, or which is smart. I mean, it's fun to see that you don't want to see him going
Yeah.
with a big dude. You want to see him going with somebody. But we said on the telecast on Tuesday night that it's got to be one of the other guys. It's got to be, a Bleed. It's got to be a Kuhlman. It's got to be a Frederick. It's got to be somebody that gets, you drag the opponent into the battle, whether it's a fight or not, a big hit, a heavy-duty play, running through them along the wall, etc. You didn't see that. Is that because they didn't know to do it or aren't able to do it?
We've seen Frederick do it, so he's certainly able. He might not have. Did he not recognize it? Did he not feel it? So that's one guy right off the top that he can do it, whether he just didn't recognize it tonight or if he's hitting that cliff as well where he came out, and it's hard to bring it mentally for these kids. It's really hard to bring it mentally.
Yep.
And Frederick's the one I'll give him a pass because he's been there every single game. The other guys, Kuhlman, a Bleed, Zaboral, he can change his perception pretty easily in a game like tonight. Lozon, giveaways. All right, you know what? I'm going to go smoke somebody here. I'm going to change things that way. And yes, he did a good job penalty killing at the end, but that physicality could have come a little sooner than that. Clifton, we expect that. He didn't play as much. He might not have had himself in a situation.
Were you surprised he was in the lineup? I thought they'd play Camford over him on Tuesday night. I thought
Camford deserved to be back in the way he played and everything he's done.
I agree.
So I was surprised.
Yeah,
yes, I was.
I agree.
But it's not that, and I think that might be an issue with this group is that the young kids have to be called out by the coach after a game like today. That they didn't recognize it the last 6-7 days, that there's opportunities for these, like Zach Senyshyn. How does he not recognize that he has an opportunity here to do something like Trent Frederick's done? Like Frederick set he set the bar for these younger guys. Like, this is how you stay in the lineup here. I love what Bjork's been able to do. He's turned his season around. He's turned his season around the last 2 weeks with his skating.
With his
penalty killing, he's stuck around and he's bringing energy. He's not going to be the one who hit guys, and I don't want him running around trying to hit guys. I want him running around skating as fast as he can all over the ice, and I think he's done that. So I'm going to leave him out of this, but the other guys.
Yeah, no, I agree, and there's not many choices. It doesn't seem like right now for the Bruins. I mean, you have Wagner, who's out of the lineup.
Mm-hmm.
I would personally put him back in now. I would. I mean, Kuhlman wasn't bad, but I'd give Wagner the dude. It's time.
It seems like it's that again. The fourth line was good last game. This game they weren't so good. So now it's like, to your point, there's not many options left. It's like, all right, Wags, here's your, this is it. This is your last.
Come on,
game.
Wags, and you're playing Pittsburgh, a veteran team. Come on, we know what you're about. I mean, I love the kid. I love him. But he hasn't been as impactful this year, and I think he comes back in. Now the question is, do you keep Senyshyn in the lineup? I don't think you can. I don't know if you can take him out. I just don't know if you can. Given you're not gonna put Kuhlman up there on that.
No,
I don't think. Doesn't do any. So but Senyshyn, to me, I was hoping to see more.
I want to see more
game.
from him.
So I don't know. I mean, you're not going to put Steen there, I don't think. I mean, he's back with. I mean, you can make moves regardless. But let's talk Anders Bjork for a second. His legs we know are the key to his success. But it seems like, and look, any player will tell you this. The more he kills penalties, the more he's in the game. He came out of college as a big scorer. And he came out and he played in every situation at Notre Dame, but especially every power play. He's getting none of that. He's getting no puck touches outside of 5-on-5. So what's the other way you keep yourself mentally and physically engaged is by killing penalties. And if you really think about it, it's a natural for him, given his edge work, his stop and start ability. I think once he recognized it, you're not getting power play time with these guys. You're just not on this team, even though the power play hasn't been great. Figure it out. And I give him credit. He's figured it out for right now. As we sit here and record this episode, he seems to have figured it out a bit.
It looks different. It certainly looks different than it did in February, in January, when there was questions whether, when he was going in and out of the lineup. It's essentially the same. He's on the penalty kill. He's doing a great job there. Beyond that, it just feels like he's confident. It feels as though you watch him and he looks like more of an NHL player than he had before. And I'm sure a lot of that's coming, to your point, off of feeling like he's found his role, at least for the next 6-8 weeks. This can be his role on this team. This is how he stays in the lineup. And if I skate real hard and kill penalties real well, then I'm going to get other opportunities. And
every player, Razor, every player wants to feel like they are contributing.
That's it.
And take it from a guy who mostly fourth liner when I play, and you sit there and you say, okay, I know I'm not going to get this or that, but you know what? I know it's going to be an opportunity when I get that. And if that is the penalty kill, it's energy, it's stripping pucks, it's getting a big pat on the back because of it's not fancy. It's just freaking hard work. And you get that endorphin rush out of it. But when you don't have that and you're just playing a shift here and there and everywhere, you feel shit out there. You don't feel like you're contributing. And you want to be and it's important to guys' egos and to their confidence. And so at least it feels like to me right now he's got that confidence going a lot more.
Agree.
Yeah. What else? Brandon Carlo. Good to see him back. I thought he played well. I thought he played very well.
And expect a bit of a up and down here the next 7 days, similar to Lauzon. Not the same as Lauzon in that he's an older guy who's come into the lineup already, but just from the fact of fitness and mentally sharp, etc., he's going to take 6 or 7 days to kick the rust off as well. And it was a great start. He's a big deal back there. He's a big deal back there.
Yeah,
he really
right.
he sets pairings. You can change. You can move guys through. It makes it so much easier for the coaches to get the right guys out on the ice when he's in the lineup.
A couple of other numbers that jump out. Craig Smith, 3 assists. Helped out.
How about that line?
The face-off play.
Is it a line now? Is that a line now?
Yeah. Well, that's where I'm going to finish up. A couple of things. I was going to go through a few numbers. Smith, 3 assists. Krejci, 3 assists. Third period, Pastrnak mostly with them, basically. Do it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Smith was with Bergeron. Krejci had Pastrnak. So we've talked about it before. I do it, right? I mean, aren't we at that point? Play Pasta with Krejci?
Yeah, I think.
Right? And Smith with
we've
Bergeron?
talked about David a little bit, like if David Pastrnak, 88 David, that it feels like he needs a switch. It feels like he needs a little momentum, a little just some juice. Just get some juice and playing with his buddy Krejci, that might be it. And Smith gives energy there.
Yeah. I mean, but if you had to put money on it, I don't know. Do you think that they'll do that for the next game? I would do that against
the
Penguins.
But I don't, hasn't been the MO.
It's interesting.
But, again, Nick Ritchie's been awesome. Going to the net, I mean, he's just been awesome. And if Smith can... Those 3 assists are a big deal for Smith. I mean, Krejci gets his 3 assists every other game. It seems like that no one even notices. I didn't recognize that he had 3 assists tonight until afterwards. But with Smith, that's a big deal. To your point, similar point as Bjork. For Smith, he signed a big deal coming in, and he can give all the energy in the forecheck. But until he gets points, that's where he's going to get his confidence and his swagger and him feeling like he's contributing.
You mentioned Nick Ritchie. One thing I want to touch on is him on the power play, Razor. Twice in this game on Tuesday, He got the puck on his strong on his forehand, and he did that move where he turned to the net to make a shot off the goal line. I think he needs to do it a millisecond quicker, and I want to see him attack with one stride.
Yeah, go
net.
far side.
I feel like he gets it, he turns,
needs,
and he shoots. Far side. Yeah. Yes.
Because that creates David's over there somewhere lurking. You can go pass off pad. You can get it. If you miss the net, then David's going to have the rebound. Whatever it is, and whatever Richie does on the power play, it's got to be off his stick in a millisecond. He can't handle the puck for more than a second out there. That's because that slows that changes the rhythm of what they do out there.
Right. So he's got to attack, man. He's got to attack. Get it. So, like, Jonathan Toews, I think, is one of the best players. I know he's not playing this year, but at that move on off the goal line to the net, I always remembered how, his skates were always at the goal line, not below it, but at the goal line or maybe a half a foot above. Got it, turn, but he would take 2 strides, or boom, boom.
He was already halfway there when he got the puck. He's like when he's getting it. He's getting the puck behind him, but his feet are already there, so it's just a swing of the arms.
And then he gives him, he improves his shooting angle. He improves his odds. So I'd love to see that. All right, a couple of other numbers that jump out. 6 shots on goal for Charlie McAvoy. I thought he was good. Not great for a while, and then I thought he got great again. 27-19 total minutes. As we mentioned, Krejci with 3 assists, Bergeron with 1 assist, 8 shots on goal, and a very rare under 50% face-off circle. 12 wins, 15 loss night for him.
He won't sleep now.
Nick Ritchie played.
Right? He really won't.
He will go look at what happened on those face-offs.
Look out, Sid the Kid and Evgeny next game.
Yeah. All right, 48 shots for the Bruins, 35 for the Devils. Halak made some damn good saves. I don't think any of them were his fault in this game. Do you? I mean, the turnovers.
No,
he had
the
2
turnovers,
turnovers.
absolutely
he had
not.
Lausanne's. Lausanne should
tip,
get, as you said, the pizza. He should get a tip. Oh, no, you're saying
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
You say Lausanne, he should get a tip for delivering those pizzas.
Yeah. He's got to get a big boy DoorDash tip or Uber Eats. No messing around with that one. No, he was good. And then the play that we talked about already, where they went down the ice in 2 seconds. Cloud's coming 100 miles an hour at him. So no, and again, that's frustrating at 4-2 on that pizza. To be able to stay in the game at that point when you feel like, all right, we're going to lose this game again as a goaltender, to fight through that. Again, that's a pro win for Yarrow.
So you've got 2 games coming up against the Penguins now, right? Thursday, Saturday. They're all big games, but especially these are big games. You're trailing the Penguins. You got a bunch of games in hand. These will be huge. We will have Morning Brew with Jaffrey and Razor for you after each one of these games for all you fans to enjoy out there. We appreciate everything. One thing I want to say, another number that jumped out. Sorry, Bjork, 5 takeaways in this game. So again, I know that's
like 3 assists for him.
Rink to rink, it's different, but right now it is.
That's where he's at. That's
his
3
version
assists for him.
Cookies are. Yeah. All right. Anything else? Anything else you want to get at before we wrap it up?
No, I think it's important just to recognize how crazy hockey is. That you can, as a goaltender, I recognize it more because that's wins and losses are what you're based off of. Yarrow loses the other night, gives up 1 goal. Tonight they play much worse, and he has an average, Inoki, he doesn't get a lot. Today he gives up 4 goals, has to make a bunch of saves because his team's horrible in front of him for a long period of time, and they end up winning 5-4. It's a crazy game. It's fun, but it's also can be maddening at times, and there's no rhyme or reason for it.
Are you surprised with how good, even though you said that Mackenzie Blackwood stinks, are you surprised at how good or how much he struggles, in shootouts? And that's not fair to say struggles a lot, but they haven't won in shootouts. And the Bruins beat him both times on that left pad, and his pads are phenomenal. It just goes to show how different
it's so
it is,
different.
Right?
But I was surprised that because again, he bit real hard on both moves, and they were great moves. I was surprised both of those guys pulled off what they did, but there's certainly something there. It's I think it might be an experience thing. You see Yarrow and but yeah, he's got to get better at it. Those are 3 or 4 points that he could have changed the game, but he's been good, man. He's good.
Yeah, but all right, well, he has been good. All right, stay off Twitter for a few hours or something.
I'm done.
All right, bud.
Going to bed. Going to bed.
You know, you'll be all right. You got it.
Yeah.
All right, Bruins win 5-4 in a shootout, a game that they really needed to have, and they found a way to get it. That wraps it up for Morning Brew with Jaffe and Razor. Have a wonderful day. We'll be back with you after the Bruins game against the Pittsburgh Penguins. They take them on at home on Thursday night. Have a wonderful day. Be safe, be healthy, and as always, enjoy your darn Morning Brew.